Do you ever catch yourself thinking that your best years are already behind you? If you are in your 60s or beyond, this video will show you why the exact opposite might be true. Today, we are exploring a powerful true story of a woman who was given just 6 months to live at age 60. But instead of an ending, her journey reveals a profound secret about aging, letting go of expectations, and giving ourselves permission to finally live for ourselves. In 2008, around the age of 60, a Canadian woman received a devastating diagnosis, an incurable heart condition. After countless efforts to heal, her doctor gave her 6 months to live. 6 months. Just 180 days to wrap up a lifetime. Try to put yourself in her shoes for a moment. For most people, that kind of news would be paralyzing. But instead of sitting in a hospital room, waiting for the end, she made a choice. She packed up her car and drove, entirely by herself, all the way from Canada down to Mexico. Instead of just fading away, she threw herself entirely into life. In her own words, she shared, "I've lived in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, bought and sold a condo there. I worked in tourism and made a very good living. I've dated, fallen in love, lost someone I loved." At this point, you might be thinking, that's wonderful. But what happened to those 6 months? Was she simply determined to make the most of whatever time she had left? Or did the diagnosis turn out to be wrong? Whatever the medical explanation might be, that 6-month deadline came and went, and she simply kept on living. As the years passed, she found a new voice, publishing a book about her healing journey to inspire others. In 2019, she sold all her belongings and bought one-way tickets to foreign destinations. She celebrated her 72nd birthday in Israel while listening to the distant sound of a bomb exploding, and eventually settled in Istanbul, Turkey. 15 years after being given 6 months to live, she was about to celebrate her 75th birthday. Reflecting on her journey, she wrote, "I'm having the best time of my life. If anyone had told me how wonderful and colorful my life would be right now, I would have rushed to get here sooner." Her story almost sounds like the plot of a movie, doesn't it? She didn't just survive those 6 months, she built an entirely new, vibrant life, starting at the age of 60. She worked, she bought a home, she went on dates, and she allowed herself to fall in love all over again. Think about that for a moment. Our society constantly whispers to us that our best years belong to our youth, our 20s, our 30s, or our 40s. We are conditioned to believe that life after 60 is just a slow, quiet winding down, a time to sit quietly in the background. But her story proves that simply isn't true. What really changed after that diagnosis? Interestingly, psychologists have spent decades studying exactly this kind of transformation. According to Stanford psychologist Dr. Laura Carstenson's socio-emotional selectivity theory, when people begin to see time as limited, their priorities often change. They tend to worry less about distant goals or other people's expectations, and focus more on what feels emotionally meaningful in the present. Looking back at this Canadian woman's story, it's hard not to notice that same shift. Instead of allowing fear to define her remaining time, She filled it with work, love, creativity, and new experiences. For the very first time in her life, she finally gave herself permission. Think about our own lives for a moment. For decades, we are bound by an invisible web of expectations. We live our days asking ourselves questions. Should I do this? Is it too selfish? What will my children think? What will my friends say? People my age just don't do things like this. We spend half a century paying our dues. We work jobs we don't always love to pay the bills. We raise our families, sacrificing our own sleep and ambitions. We fulfill our roles, being the good parent, the reliable spouse, the responsible employee, the caretaker. For years, we lock our own desires away in a dusty box on the top shelf of our minds, always putting someone else's needs first. We tell ourselves, I'll relax once the kids are fully settled, forgetting that they are already adults with families of their own. We hesitate to enjoy things thinking, I should save this for the grandkids. Or we simply look in the mirror and sigh, I'm too old for that now. We let those thoughts trap us in an invisible cage for years. But for her, hearing she only had 6 months left changed everything in an instant. Faced with the absolute limit of her time, all of those lifelong worries just vanished. The cage was finally unlocked. She gave herself permission to pack a bag and drive to Mexico. Permission to fall in love again, even knowing it might end in heartbreak. Permission to write a book without worrying if she was a professional writer. Permission to fail. Permission to move. Permission to simply enjoy being alive, exactly as she was. And here is the most important takeaway from her journey. You do not need a devastating diagnosis to grant yourself that exact same permission. Many of us are waiting. We are waiting for the right time, waiting for approval, waiting until we feel 100% ready. But reaching your 60s, 70s, or 80s, that is your permission slip. If you've spent decades caring for others, stretching yourself thin to hold your family and your world together, perhaps it's time to allow yourself a little space as well. You are allowed to stop asking, what will people think? And finally start asking, what do I want to experience today? But the moment we ask ourselves that question, a quiet voice of doubt often interrupts. It's the voice of practicality. We look at a journey like hers, driving to Mexico, traveling to Israel, settling in Turkey, and it's easy to think, well, she must be wealthy to afford all that. It's easy to be adventurous when you have a fat bank account. It is completely natural to feel that way. In fact, when people first read her story online, many assumed she must have had a lot of money or a wealthy partner funding her lifestyle. But her response to those comments was wonderfully honest and grounded. She wrote, I'm rather surprised at some of the comments I'm getting. No, I'm not rich, nor do I have a sugar daddy. If I was younger, LOL, that might be lovely. I figure what I saved from no alcohol and cigarettes over the last 50 years would take me almost anywhere. But the reality is, I worked in sales and fashion for my entire life, even when I was diagnosed with 6 months to live in 2008. She wasn't a millionaire with endless resources. She was a working woman who made choices about her savings, her daily habits, and ultimately, how she wanted to spend her precious time. Her story is breathtaking. But as we listen to it, it's easy to hear that voice of doubt again. That's her, not me. I don't have the health to drive across the continent or the money to travel the world. But you see, we don't need a one-way ticket to the other side of the world to start over. Society often makes us believe that a new beginning has to be grand, expensive, and cinematic. Our new beginning might be much smaller, much simpler, but no less brave. It doesn't have to be a flight to Mexico or a new life in Turkey. Maybe your new chapter is simply calling an old friend you lost touch with years ago. Maybe it's planting a new type of flower in your garden and watching it bloom. Maybe it's picking up a paintbrush for the first time since high school, taking a short weekend trip to a nearby town, or signing up for a piano class. These things don't require a fortune. They don't require perfect health. But they do require courage. The courage to say that your joy still matters. It makes us wonder, doesn't it? Have we spent so many years paying bills, raising children, and taking care of everyone else that we forgot how to live for ourselves? Have we forgotten what makes our own hearts find peace? Finding that peace again is a beautiful pursuit. But let's be deeply honest with ourselves. When we finally make the choice to reclaim a little space for our own joy, it doesn't mean the reality of aging or our daily struggles just fade away. We all know from experience that life is rarely perfect. Bones still ache. Doctor appointments are still a reality. Grief still visits us. And the woman in our story understood this beautifully. She didn't want to paint a picture of a perfect life where nothing ever goes wrong. She wanted to be completely honest about her reality, writing, "But I must say, life is not perfect. I could make a list of negatives if you prefer, but that's never been my style. No matter what happens in my life, I will always find the upside. And that's the true secret to the life I've lived. Thank you for your lovely words. It inspires me to keep on going through the darkness and into the light." That is the real secret, isn't it? The upside. It's not about ignoring the pain, the medical reports, the losses, or the physical limitations that come with age. It's about not letting those things become your only story. We cannot control everything that happens to our bodies or our circumstances, especially as the years go by. The hands of time are unstoppable, but we do have the absolute power to choose where we put our focus. We can choose to stare at the closed doors behind us, mourning the youth we've lost, or we can look at the light pouring through the doorway we are standing in. So, if you woke up today feeling like your best chapters are already closed, if you looked in the mirror and felt like society has nothing left for you, I hope this remarkable woman's journey gives you a moment of pause. I hope it reminds you that you still have a blank page in front of you. Whether we have 6 months, 6 years, or decades ahead of us, the truth is, the only time any of us truly possess is right now. You don't need to move across the world. You don't need to be wealthy. You just need to give yourself permission to step into the light, right here, today. What is your upside today? What is one small thing you are giving yourself permission to do this week? I would love to hear your thoughts. Please share them in the comments below, because your stories inspire me just as much as this one. Thank you for spending this time with me. Until next time, take care of yourself, be kind to your heart, And remember, it is never, ever too late to start living.